Picture this: a freezing Christmas Eve. A flickering gas station sign barely cuts through the darkness. And there stands 23-year-old Amina Price, clutching a single $5 bill like it's the last piece of hope she has left. Because it is. That bill wasn't just money. It was her lifeline until the new year. Bus pass to tomorrow's job interview. A dollar menu burger to split with her little sister waiting back home in their cold apartment. She had no idea that in the next 10 minutes, she'd spend every cent of it on a complete stranger. And she definitely didn't know that decision would change her entire life. But not in the way you think. Have you ever had to choose between your own survival and helping someone else? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your story. Because what happened next will challenge everything you thought you knew about compassion. Empty wallet, sparse apartment, sister's crayon drawing on fridge. Let me take you into Amina's world for a moment. 23 years old. Dreams of community college buried under an avalanche of her mother's medical debt. Bills that kept coming even after her mother stopped breathing 3 months earlier. Now Amina was the provider, the protector, the only thing standing between her 14-year-old sister and the streets. That $5? She'd done the math 17 times in her head. Bus pass meant she could get to 3 job interviews across town tomorrow. The burger meant her sister wouldn't ask that question again, the one that broke Amina's heart every time. Are we eating tonight? No Christmas dinner this year. No tree. No gifts. Just making it to January was the goal. Amina stood under that gas station light doing calculations only desperate people understand. Pennies stretched into miracles. Dignity measured in dollar menus. Her mother's voice still echoed in her head from childhood, from better times. Baby, if you see someone breaking, you don't just walk by. You stop. You help. That's what makes us human. Easy words when you're not the one breaking. But here's what Amina didn't know about this particular gas station. On this particular night. Sometimes the universe puts you exactly where you need to be, right when someone else needs you most. Close-up of leather vest, Hell's Angels patch visible. The rumble came first. Deep. Powerful. The kind that rattles your ribcage. Then a violent cough that didn't sound right, didn't sound human. Amina's head snapped toward the gas pumps. A heavy-set man in worn leather crumpled beside his Harley, like someone had cut his strings. One hand clutched his chest. The other fumbled for a phone that slipped from shaking fingers and cracked against concrete. The back of his vest carried a symbol Amina had only seen in news clips and police warnings. Blazing. Unmistakable. Hell's Angels. Fear hit her like ice water. Every headline, every warning, every stereotype her mind had filed away came flooding back. Her feet wanted to move, away, not toward. Her hand tightened on that $5 bill. The smart move was clear. Get in the gas station, lock the door, let someone else handle it. But the man's breathing sounded wrong. Ragged. Desperate. And her mother's voice cut through the fear. If you see someone breaking, you don't just walk by. Amina's feet made the decision before her brain could stop them. She ran toward him. What would you do in this moment? Hit that like button if you'd help a stranger, even when everything in you screamed not to. She dropped to her knees beside him, her hands hovering uselessly. Sir? Sir, can you hear me? His eyes found hers, glassy, unfocused, but aware. Riker, he rasped. The word came out broken. Names. Riker. Diabetic. Insulin. I miscalculated. His hands shook violently as he gestured toward his wallet. Can't open it. Can't dial. Amina understood immediately. Low blood sugar. Dangerous low. The kind that puts people in comas or worse. Hold on, she said, already moving. I'm getting help. She burst through the gas station doors, words tumbling out. There's a man outside. He's diabetic. He needs orange juice. Something with sugar, please. The cashier didn't even look up from his phone. Cash only. No credit. I'm not asking for credit. I'm asking you to help. Lady, I don't know that guy. Not my problem. You want something, you pay for it. Amina's hand went to her pocket. Found that $5 bill. Her lifeline. Her sister's dinner. Tomorrow's bus fare. The calculations ran faster this time. No bus money meant walking 6 miles to interviews in January cold. No burger meant her sister would smile anyway and say she wasn't hungry, that lie they'd both gotten so good at telling. Amina could see it all. The dominoes falling, the consequences stacking up. The $5 sliding across counter in slow motion. Text overlay. She chose a stranger over her own survival. She slid the bill across the counter. Orange juice and a protein bar. Now. Back in the cold, she knelt beside Riker again, cracked open the juice, and held it to his lips. Small sips. Slow. You're okay. I've got you. His hands were shaking too badly to hold the bottle. So she held it, tilted it gently, talked him through each swallow like she was coaxing her sister through a bad dream. Around them, cars pulled in and out. People glanced over, kept walking. But Amina stayed. She unwrapped the protein bar, broke off small pieces, watched color slowly creep back into his face. His breathing steadied. His eyes cleared. He managed. You used your last money. Don't worry about it. I heard you. In there. Asking. Sirens wailed in the distance. Amina waited until the ambulance pulled in, until paramedics took over, until she was sure Riker would be okay. Then she slipped away into the darkness before anyone could ask her name. She didn't want recognition. She wanted to get home before her sister started worrying. Empty apartment. Amina walking in winter cold, clock showing 11:47 p.m. The walk home took an hour and 12 minutes. Amina's fingers went numb halfway through. Her sister was still awake when she came in, hope bright in her eyes. Did you bring dinner? Amina's heart shattered. I'm sorry, baby. Not tonight. Her sister, beautiful, understanding, 14 years old and already too familiar with disappointment, just nodded. That's okay. I'm not that hungry, anyway. That lie. God, that lie hurt worse than the truth. They shared tap water and crackers. Sat together on the couch under a thin blanket. Her sister fell asleep against Amina's shoulder while Christmas music played softly from a neighbor's apartment. Amina stayed awake, doing math that didn't add up anymore. No rent money for January. No tuition for spring semester. No path forward she could see. But when she closed her eyes, she saw Riker's face. Saw the moment his breathing steadied. And she told herself the same thing she'd been telling herself for months. You did the right thing. That has to be enough. Outside, snow started to fall. Christmas morning was 3 hours away. Have you ever sacrificed everything for what felt right? Share this video if you believe kindness still matters, even when it costs you everything. Christmas morning, 9:47 a.m. The apartment windows started vibrating first. Amina jolted awake, confused. Her sister sat up, eyes wide. What is that? The sound built like thunder, except thunder doesn't have a rhythm. Doesn't growl and rumble and shake the walls. Motorcycle engines. Dozens of them. Amina's stomach dropped. Fear flooded back. Had she done something wrong? Was Riker angry she'd left? Did Hell's Angels track people down for what? She moved to the window, her sister gripping her hand tight. The entire street was lined with motorcycles. Harleys, Triumphs, Indians. Chrome gleaming in winter sun. Leather vests everywhere, patches from 3 different states. Hell's Angels. Sons of Silence. Mongols. Bikers standing in formation, like they were waiting for something. Amina, her sister whispered. I'm scared. Me too, baby. Then the crowd parted, and Riker walked through, helmet in one hand, an envelope in the other, and car keys dangling from his fingers. Rows of motorcycles, bikers standing respectfully, Riker approaching. What happened next shocked everyone. Amina opened the door before he could knock. Stood there in her worn pajamas, her sister half hidden behind her, trying to understand. Riker. Amina. He smiled, and it was the warmest thing she'd seen in months. I'm sorry to show up like this, but we needed to do this in person. Do what? He held up his phone. Last night, after you saved my life, I posted something. Told my brothers about a young black woman who spent her last $5 to keep a stranger breathing on Christmas Eve. Told them how you didn't ask my name, didn't care about my patch, just saw a human being who needed help. Amina's throat tightened. I just did what anyone. No. His voice was firm but gentle. Not anyone. Most people walked right past me. You didn't. He handed her the envelope. Her hands shook as she opened it. Inside were checks. So many checks. From motorcycle clubs across the country. From individual riders. From people she'd never met and never would. The amounts blurred together through her tears, but Riker's voice was steady. Your mother's medical debt, $14,000. Paid in full. Your rent for the next 6 months. Covered. Community college tuition for spring and fall semester.
Done.
And there's an emergency fund for your sister, about $8,000 more. Total raised, $47,000 in 18 hours. Amina couldn't breathe. Couldn't process. Her sister started crying, and Amina didn't know if she was standing or falling because the world tilted sideways. And these, Riker held up the car keys, are for a 2016 Honda Civic. Chapter bought it, insured it, registered it in your name. You'll never have to worry about bus money again. Why? The word came out broken. Why would you, all of you, do this for me? Riker's eyes were honest, clear, kind. Because you treated me like a man, not a monster. You know what that means to people like us? We spend our whole lives being judged by our leather, our patches, our bikes. People cross the street when they see us coming, lock their car doors, clutch their purses tighter. He gestured to the riders behind him. We're fathers, grandfathers, veterans, teachers. We volunteer. We fundraise. We escort abused kids to court so they feel safe. But all people see is the vest. His voice softened. You were terrified of me. I saw it in your eyes. But you helped anyway. That's the kind of human being the world needs more of. So we wanted to show you, sometimes angels wear leather, too. Amina hugging Riker, bikers wiping tears, sister holding car keys, neighbors watching from windows. Amina broke. Not just relief, but the weight of being seen, valued, honored for doing what her mother taught her, for choosing humanity over fear. The bikers didn't leave until she accepted every dollar, every key, every gesture of gratitude they'd brought. Her sister whispered in her ear, Mom was right. Angels are everywhere. Amina years later, college graduation, working as social worker, the Honda in her driveway. Here's what happened next. Amina finished community college with a 3.8 GPA. Got her bachelor's in social work. Today, she helps families in crisis, families who look like hers did that Christmas Eve. She kept the Honda. Not as a reminder of charity, but of connection. Of what happens when we choose to see each other as human first. Riker calls her little sister now. The Hells Angels chapter adopted her family as their own. They show up to her sister's basketball games, her college graduation, every milestone that matters. Because that's what family does. But the deeper lesson? Amina went to that gas station carrying prejudice she didn't even know she had. Society taught her to fear the patch, the leather, the stereotype. And Riker's community, they knew what it meant to be dismissed by appearance. Both sides were wrong about each other. Both sides needed that moment to break through. Her mother's wisdom proved true. If you see someone breaking, you don't just walk by. But Riker taught her the second half of that lesson. One act of humanity creates ripples you'll never see coming. Compassion isn't just about saving someone. It's about reminding everyone watching that we're all connected. We're all one choice away from being someone's miracle or someone's missed opportunity. If this story moved you, hit that subscribe button right now because these are the stories that need to be told. Drop a comment telling me about a time someone surprised you with unexpected kindness. And share this video to remind someone today that humanity still exists in the most unexpected places. Amina's $5 changed her life. But your choice today, to judge less, to help more, to see people instead of stereotypes, that can change someone else's entire world. Next time you're tempted to judge by appearances, remember this story. Remember that sometimes the people we fear most are the ones who'll show up when everyone else walks away. I started this channel to share stories like this. Stories that prove we're better than the divisions trying to tear us apart. Stories that show love winning, compassion breaking through, humanity rising above fear. This is just the beginning. There are more stories coming, more moments where ordinary people chose extraordinary compassion. More proof that angels wear all kinds of disguises. So stay with me. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Comment with your truth. Share to spread the message. Because the world needs to remember, we're all just one act of kindness away from changing everything. See you in the next